The President has called the Speaker and Leader Pelosi and the Majority Leader and myself down for a meeting tomorrow afternoon, presumably, to discuss the situation in Iraq. I'm anxious to see what plan he may have, given where we are. But it certainly underscores the significance of the President reversing the decision he previously indicated he had made for us to leave Afghanistan entirely. We know that if we don't leave behind a deployment that the military has recommended in Afghanistan of roughly 10,000 troops for counterterrorism purposes and training purposes, you're likely to see the same kind of meltdown in Afghanistan that we've seen in Iraq. So I hope the President, at least looking to the future, has learned something from this and will reverse his decision to leave Afghanistan entirely. And second, I'm anxious to see what recommendations he has for how we, at this point, help the Iraqi government prevent the takeover of the entire country by an extremely dangerous terrorist group.
Do you have any suggestions for the President on what to do in Iraq at this point?
I know what he should have done. I addressed that earlier. He should have left a deployment behind, not for combat purposes, but for training and for counterterrorism. Having made the decision not to do that, we're left with entirely predictable consequences. I'm anxious to hear what he has to say. He's the President of the United States, about what we do confronted with this situation now. Looking forward, let's don't do it again in Afghanistan. When you have even the former Secretary of State saying over the weekend she's open to continuing the deployment in Afghanistan beyond the date that the President has suggested, that tells you that even inside the Democratic Party, there's pretty widespread recognition that entirely pulling out of Iraq and jeopardizing all that had been accomplished over all of those years was a terrible mistake. I look forward tomorrow to hear what the President has to say about where we go from here on Iraq.